Hi Aries, this is Lunarticks Tarot with a reading for anyone who identifies with your Ram energy during the end of August 2018, specifically these last 11 days that we're looking at now. Though the reading may be applicable to the entirety of August for some Aries, and then again for other Aries, it is possible that it doesn't resonate at all. Do feel free, as always, to listen to your other signs, your moon, your ascendant, your sun, or any other sign that interests you at any given time. Aries, I do hope that these mid-month messages are, or end of the month messages are right on time for you. I won't go into all the details with you as to why I couldn't get a reading up for you, posted for you, for Aries specifically anyway, any sooner than this. Everything that could happen has happened in the last few weeks. But I was able to put up a love reading for all signs. It's a pick a card reading. So if you like that type of reading and are interested in any loving relationship in your life right now in particular, that might be a good place for you to find messages. It's for Leo season. So we do have a few days left in Leo season. Even though I know most everyone is either in Virgo energy or preliminary Virgo energy, but there are a few days left in Leo season, so there might be messages there for you. It's choose a stone love reading. It's titled Leo Season Love Notes, but again, it is for all signs. And then I also did a reading for on the partial solar eclipse in Leo during that new super moon. As a happy birthday to Leo, I did theirs first, and it turned out to be the only one that I had time for. After just getting over a couple of illnesses, then I found out I was moving unexpectedly, and right when my car is out for repairs, and I had just been out of town unexpectedly. That's just a handful of the things that were going on. Nothing was too serious. Everything just happened all at once, you know, that kind of thing. But in any case, I did have in mind as well that for the during that time, during Leo season in general, sure, but especially during that eclipse season, and that during that energy around that event, the partial solar eclipse, I just felt like we could all relate to Leo's energy anyway. And of course, Leo does rule a house for each of us. So anyway, if you are still reeling from eclipse energies, and Aries, it seems that maybe some of you are, that might be a good place to look for messages as well. So I will link, I forgot to say that I think in the Libra reading, but I will link those down below in the description of the video. And I probably don't need to say this, but in the for the choose a stone reading, the love reading, the options are time-stamped in the description, so you don't have to sit through that long intro. You've got the world representing you. the way that you are interacting with the world, the way that the world is seeing you, the way you are presenting yourself, you on a conscious level. Are very much aware that you're in a position to manifest anything that you want. And I don't think it's any secret to anyone else either, Aries. You, or will be during these next couple weeks. After completing a major cycle in your life. This just showed up, the world just showed up in someone else's reading, but it was reversed anyway. Can't remember. I've only done 5 other signs, so it couldn't be hard to find. You've got the Death card reversed showing up in your subconscious. Representing a deeper part of you that you may not be consciously aware of, that's definitely influencing your conscious self. Something has either, you or something in your life very significant has recently been resurrected. Again, it might be you yourself, might be a relationship, a work, a job, a major part of not just your life, but who you are, how you define yourself, how you see yourself in the world. Something major has been resurrected recently, and that somehow has helped you to complete a major cycle. Almost as if it were destined to be resurrected. Which again has not just completed a major cycle, but then that completion brings you to a place, Aries, a state of openly being able to manifest whatever you want, and that being no secret to anyone, and you being well aware of it consciously, very, very well maybe exercising it. Hopefully not abusing it in any way, because you do have the Justice card as what you are faced with showing up next then, and in its reverse position as it is showing up here, it can mean an abuse of power. Can represent that in my spreads sometimes. It could be someone else's, not your own. It could be that in that position, from that perspective, you make friends who are in a similar position or have a similar perspective, and it's someone else abusing their power that you are crossed with or faced with during the end of this month. For some Aries, a good number of Aries actually, though, I'm getting the feeling that it is actually legal complications that you're either involved in somehow. A lot of Aries are dealing with them personally themselves, or some of you just are talking about them. You know about someone's legal complications who's near and dear to you, close enough to you to be disclosing information about it with you. So it's on your mind, it's important to you. This is only a 10-11 day period, so you know that could be the most significant thing going on for you, or one of the most significant things going on for you, or at least, you know, a very significant thing going on for you that you need a message about. And these two things are not necessarily related, right? You are completing a major cycle in your life as a result, I believe, of or at the same time that something major resurrects in your life, and then you're crossed with this legal complication. It could be related, but it could have, you know, absolutely nothing to do with your completion and your resurrection. Now, Justice can also be a Libra. Sorry, there are quite a few messages coming through. I didn't mean to leave you there. Yeah, Justice can also be a Libra. Something in general for all Aries. Something is imbalanced. You're met with something imbalanced. Could be something unjust. It could be legal complications. Could just be something immoral. Again, like an abuse of power. Someone being unfair. Someone being too severe. Someone needing to be merciless sometimes. But the way that you're processing being faced with this is the Queen of Pentacles energy. She is creative. She's grounded. This is Earth energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. She's crafty. She's practical. So sometimes a teacher, a mother, often very wealthy, rich. She's in charge of her finances. She's good at managing her finances, I should say. And the advice is the Eight of Wands, which is fast movement. So, I almost hate to give advice on legal matters, but it's not the first time I would have been asked for it since starting the channel, and if this has resonated at all, and I know I'm moving through this very slowly, thanks for sticking with me, but if this has resonated at all, and you are looking at legal complications, it's almost as if the spread is saying, for some reason you have chosen to manifest that this complication, this type of situation, maybe as some type of test for yourself. You can manifest whatever you want, though, so you've chosen to, for some reason, to learn this lesson, see it as such, be your own teacher, learn the lesson you're trying to teach yourself, and use your crafty nature inside to quickly exit this situation now. She is the Queen of Pentacles, creative yet practical. So if it's legal complications, there are I's that need dotted and T's that need crossed, and you have to do everything correctly, but maybe there's also some way you can think outside of the box to speed the process up and just be finished with it faster. We'll get clarifiers on all of these too. I would like to know why. I'd like to ask why the Eight of Wands is the advice. It's not just fast movement, it's also expedited progress, kicking things into overdrive in some sense. Finances might be a complication for you, though. Yeah, whatever is imbalanced, whether it's a legal complication or not. Like I said, it could just be a case of someone being too severe or dishonest, abusing their power, but whatever is imbalanced, with the Page of Pentacles showing up in the past, I feel like it comes... It's a lesson that you are manifesting for yourself because you subconsciously, you know, you haven't learned it yet. And so you've resurrected this lesson, perhaps? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. So you've got the Ace of Cups as a clarifier on the World card. The World representing you says to me, you know, you've just accomplished something major, completed a cycle, you are getting ready to embark on your next journey. You should be in a place where you're feeling like you can manifest anything you want, and whether you are or not, you deserve to be celebrating that accomplishment and that completion. And then the Ace of Cups reversed is the clarifier. But you're suffering from an unrequited love at the same time. Or or are just afraid to let love in, are not wanting to share. There's significant Scorpio energy present. So some of you are missing a Scorpio. That's the unrequited love, or the reason why you're afraid to let love in. Some of you have significant Scorpio in your own chart. And that's where your imbalance is coming in, whatever area that Scorpio's in, or whatever house Scorpio rules, or wherever your Pluto's placed, etc., whatever it's doing right now. But again, like I started out saying, there's either something significant within you or with someone else significant to you that you were wanting to resurrect. You didn't want to mourn it anymore. You didn't want to leave behind more than you'd lost. Or cry over spilt milk anymore. But you just believed it could be resurrected. It's sort of like, I think a lot of Aries came to this place of you completed a major cycle in your life so that you could resurrect something with someone. So that you could resurrect another part of your life. Like you had to become someone new. Level up, in a sense, if you will. You had to decide to shed old habits, old ways, become a new person. And in some way, I think a lot of Aries gained the ability to manifest whatever they wanted so that they could, because what they wanted to manifest was resurrecting this again, either relationship or some part of their life from the past. And then you've got the Four of Cups showing up as the clarifier on the Justice card reversed. The Four of Cups is someone sometimes who's forced to deal with their present situation, but they really feel like they need to withdraw. So whatever this legal complication is, or this injustice that you're faced with, this lie, abuse of power, all the above, you're distracted, your mind's on something else, maybe this love relationship, you feel like you can't quite suss out the truth and you don't really have the energy to, but also at the same time, you're presented with an opportunity. Like I said, this seems like a lesson that you've manifested, that you've resurrected, that you've brought to the surface again. So I hope the Four of Cups reverse is also saying for a lot of Aries that you won't ignore or waste the opportunity to learn that lesson, if that's what's happening for you here, if you brought it back around again because you didn't learn it before. It could also be, a court case or a legal matter that's somehow related to a loss of finances. And in order to move through the process quickly, you may need to ask for help from someone else, as you are, as that is showing up as what could possibly block you from going ahead and moving through it quickly, which is the advice. And then the clarifier is the Six of Pentacles, saying, you may need to ask someone to step in and help you out with that a little bit. Be sure to consider this situation from the angle, the aspect. I think it's, emotional and an emotional versus practical matter. With the Temperance card showing up as the unifying message for the spread. Yeah, and as I'm saying that, we have the King of Cups upright, showing up as the clarifier on the King of Pentacles reversed. Almost as if it's saying, no, you may not have all the funds or resources that you need, but you do have diplomacy, you do have emotional maturity, the ability to remain calm and cool-headed and collected, to ask like-minded individuals for aid. And hopefully that can help you make up for the speed at which you can move through this complication in some way, again, whether it's legal or not. I also see the message that for some female Aries, this legal complication has to do with someone you view as a divine masculine counterpart in your life. And while you are handling whatever injustice they are creating in your life, whether it's actually something that's taken to court or not, maybe it's just a lie or some type of abuse, while you are very much handling it like a queen, moving quickly out of that situation and away from them may be halted because you see them as a divine masculine counterpart. They can be selfish and lacking in a lot of ways, but they also have a more mature side. So it's like it's your connection to that person who you believe they are to you, maybe who they actually are to you, that's keeping you in that situation. There are so many different messages here, but that's for some feminine Aries energies. And then this card just shows up again and again, choice, as the future card for Aries at the end of August 2018. Let's look at the future position of choice. I don't think I have read that portion yet on here. Okay, yes, I did. For every action, there is an equal reaction. For every choice you make and then act upon or do not act upon, there will be a direct or indirect reward or consequence. Practice mindfulness even when making spontaneous decisions. What will your choice bring into your life? Your choices have the power to open and close doors, build bridges, and burn them. Could your decisions have potential consequences that you have not considered? Bring change of your own design and making. Look to the potential consequences and rewards and consider the impact your choices may have. Bring forth a future that is in harmony with your intentions and desires. Kind of coming full circle in a way, again, to the idea that you hadn't learned this lesson before at some point in the past, that you are manifesting for yourself again now. And there's something about owning the fact that it was your choice, even if on some level you don't really believe it is, but putting yourself in the driver's seat, the position of power in that way, by saying, well, I could manifest whatever I wanted, and I chose to manifest this lesson, frees you of that cycle in a way. If you know that, if you know that you created the lesson for yourself, that it was your choice, you know, then of course you should be able to find a way out of the maze you've created for yourself then, right? Yeah, and some, you know, for Aries who are faced with a situation that involves abuse of some type, there's an indication that there's a need to move out of that situation and away from it very quickly. And a reminder with the choice card in the future that the choices that you make now are deciding your future, which they always are, but they're very significant at this time. You've got a major arcana representing you, a major arcana representing your subconscious, a major arcana representing the unifying message, and a major arcana in the future that says the choices you're making now, which are from a seat of power where you're able to manifest anything you want, are deciding your future. And as I say that, I'm also led to say you can manifest anything you want, but you can't make somebody love you, right? You can make someone engage with you, encourage someone to lie to you. This is not for all Aries. Like I said, there's many different messages, but you can keep a relationship going. You can prolong a sexual relationship, for example, but you can't make somebody love you. That may lead to a destructive sort of imbalance of power for some here. Okay, Aries, there are many, many, many more messages that I could just keep digging into here, but I'm already almost at 40 minutes. So much, all of these readings have been so much longer. I apologize if it drug a little bit. There are a ton of messages here. If any of it resonated and you need a personal reading from me, please do reach out. You can email LunarticksTarot@gmail.com and or just scroll down to the description of this video below and go ahead and check out my reading options there. I'm still taking requests for free readings at this time. Those are taking about a month to turn around though, so just be prepared for 4 weeks of wait time at least. My paid reading options, though, are still going out on time against all odds. So if you need a reading quicker, check out the personal readings that go out in 3 business days. There are also rushed reading options now, though, as well. They're a little bit more expensive, but I turn those readings around in 24 hours. So they are delivered within 24 hours of payment. But if you need a cheaper reading option, because I have gotten requests for something along those lines as well, I am also offering a $10 reading now as well. It's only 15 minutes. I'm calling it a quick fix. So that's for a situation or just a few questions that you know or feel that you can be summed up in that amount of time. You know, if you ask me an hour long readings worth of questions, obviously I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but I think people will be pretty reasonable with that. I expect they will be, that you all will be. When you go to pay for those readings, if you are interested, you will notice that when you get to PayPal, the name Willow Growth is associated with Lunarticks Tarot. Just consider it one and the same for now. It's something I'm working on removing, but it is essentially the same as Lunarticks Tarot. Don't let that throw you off. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the shares, comments, messages, kind words, donations, reading requests. It's all so very truly appreciated. Please do continue to reach out for readings. Please like this video if it offered you something, and do subscribe if you haven't yet and feel called to do so. I love you, Aries, and I'll post another tarot fix for you just as soon as I can.